A lot to talk about in today's show. We're going to get into the latest coaching rumors. Aaron Glenn and Ben Johnson. Until these guys get hired, we're going to talk about it. We're also going to get into free agents. The Lions got a ton of free agents. We're going to go through each one and then tell you if you think the Lions should sign them. We're going to get into the latest news, everything surrounding our Detroit Lions today. Dan Campbell spoke. We're going to give his thoughts. Let's get this thing started right now. All right, folks, let's go ahead and get into the latest Detroit Lions news. We're going to start with the coaching carousel here. And Dan Campbell spoke and says, does it hurt to lose those guys? Absolutely. They're a big part of what we have been here, Campbell said. I mean, they have been here for 4 years. They have been one of the issues why we have been able to get where we've been, man. We came out to the dump, and we got where we're at. So, man, I will forever be grateful for those guys or a team and being what they're doing. He's talking about the Detroit Lions coaching staff, and it is what it is right there. He continues on. He talks about, Aaron Glenn is going to get a job in this cycle. Ben Johnson is going to get a job in this cycle. And I think that there's every possibility and probably likely that the Lions are going to be losing both of the coordinators in this cycle. And that's exactly what Adam Schefter stated right there. And Dan Campbell spoke, says, yeah, we're going to be losing our coordinators. And I got to say this. I know it's going to be a little bit controversial. I don't really care. But is necessarily losing both our coordinators a bad thing right now? Now, look, I love what they have done, but maybe it is time for a new voice in the coordinator position. I mean, there has been times, look, I love Ben Johnson. It's great OC. I wish he was coming back. No doubt about it. But there's been times where he just overthinks plays, and that can get irritating. And then with Aaron Glenn, he has been a topic of subject for 4 years. And so doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be a bad thing that they're gone. There's going to be switches, and there will be some hiccups for both offense and defense with them gone if they do take the job. Why? Because that's just a part of the business. Folks, let's get to 300 likes in this video. Chat Sports challenging me in the offseason. They don't think we can do it. I'm pretty darn sure that we can get it done. Go ahead and smash that like button. Let's go ahead and talk about the Lions cap space in free agency here, because this is going to be a big part of what's going on for the future. And here, Lions right now, we got the 6th best cap space in 2025 with $67.9 million. They're the 18th best with $6.6 million dead cap hit, and they're 23rd with using of the cap, being responsible. We got the 6th best cap space, so I can see why that number is down. And we got a lot of free agents that we got to get into, a lot of players that we're going to be going through. And before we get into these players, and we're going to go through each free agent, a quick shout out to the sponsor of today's video. Today's show is sponsored by Game Time, the fastest and easiest way to buy tickets to sport events, concerts, comedy shows, or whatever. Their lowest price is guaranteed. That's the Game Time guaranteed. Going to a game is much better than being on the couch. The Detroit Pistons are traveling to face the Chicago Bulls, and you can get tickets on Game Time. Our friends from Game Time has a new feature, and what it does, it filters out all the tickets to give you the best deals on tickets, so you're not spending hours looking to get the best deals on seats. Now, how do you find this bad boy? How do you get it? Well, you go to Game Time, search for the event that you're trying to get to, and it's going to be in a 3D view. Select the Game Time Picks button on top of the screen, and it automatically does the research for you. And it filters out the tickets in the database, give you the best deals on the best seats, so you don't spend hours in a bunch of different ticketing sites trying to find the best tickets. You can get exclusive flash deals on tickets for football, baseball, basketball, concerts, and more. And the mail screenshot, by the way, I think it's a fantastic feature of the app. It shows you where your seat is, and if you move phone left to right, you can see the surrounding area kind of like a 3D live photo. Also, if you're new to Game Time, if you plug in Chat Sports, you're going to get $20 off your very first purchase. How do you do this? You go to Game Time, you go to the redeem code section, you plug in Chat Sports, you get $20 off first purchase. Terms to apply. Got to create comment and an email to save that money. The link is going to be in the comment section and description of this video. So if you're buying Lions 6th year, make sure using Game Time. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets and lowest prices guaranteed. All right, let's go ahead and look at some of these free agents. A lot of them that the Lions are going to have to look to sign here. And we're going to start here with some names here. We're going to go through each one, and I want you guys in the comments while we're going down there, should we re-sign this player, should we not? So I want you guys to really be involved in this video because, look, we get a lot of views, and I want to see what you guys think about these free agents. Now, we're going to start with Carlton Davis here. Should the Lions re-sign him? This is an interesting one. There's a both answer for me on this one with Carlton Davis. Yes and no. Yes, because he is a good corner. No, because he gets injured quite a bit. He is an injury-prone player. Before we traded for him, remember, he wasn't injury-prone for Tampa. And now he was injury-prone for the Lions this year. Look, I think that the Lions, maybe they give him a one-year deal, right? A one-year prove-it deal like they did with Emmanuel Moseley. Maybe that's the best way to go for Carlton Davis. A long-term deal, I don't think is smart because of the injury concerns that we got there, because of everything that's going on. Do you want to be in a situation where you got to deal with a player who is injured quite a bit? So that's going to be something to look forward to. There's going to be another player we're going to be talking about here, and that's going to be the question right now. Would you bring back Marcus Davenport to the Lions? Why for yes and for no? Give me your thoughts right now, because that's what we're talking about next. Marcus Davenport, no. I don't think we should re-sign him. He played, one game, and he was already down. He was injury-prone for the Vikings. He was injury-prone throughout his career. I didn't like the signing initially. It was a bad signing. No. Kevin Zeitler, yeah, why not bring him back for a one-year deal? I think that's the best way to go. If not, Mahogany can take that spot, that spot. But I prefer Mahogany in the Graham Glasgow area because he was suffering. John Cominsky, I guess they could bring him back. It would be on a cheap deal. But remember, he was third string in training camp. Emmanuel Moseley, absolutely not. No reason to bring him back. I gave him the one-year deal this year. It hasn't worked. He's injured all the time. He's not even on the field when he was healthy. No. Levi Onwuzurike, 100% bring him back. He is a Dan Campbell type of guy, dealing with a lot of injuries, dealing with a lot of issues throughout his career, but he played well this year, 100%. Khalil Dorsey, doesn't really matter to me. Kindle Vildor, doesn't really matter to me. He's a depth guy. Michael Bagdley, no. There's no reason to bring him back. Kyle Pekp, it does not matter to me if he comes back. So of all those lists here, who do you guys want to come back? Carlton Davis, Davenport, Zeitler, Cominsky. Let me know your thoughts in the comments right now. Of all the names, I think Carlton Davis is going to be the biggest one to decide because of the injuries. I think, when it comes to Levi Onwuzurike, that's the bigger deal that the Lions got to get done. He's the younger player, right? He's coming off his rookie deal. Bring him back, maybe a 3-year deal. It doesn't have to be anything significant, but enough for him to come, or maybe even a 1-year deal. But Levi, for sure, he helped this team out, and that's the way that I see it. Before we get to the list of the other free agents, question again, what is one guy you would like to bring back? Any name that you have. Let's go the rest of the Lions free agents, the list that's going on here, and then we're going to get into another coaching rumor after this one. Just got to find my list that I have, and here is the other list. Teddy Bridgewater, quarterback. Should we bring him back? It doesn't really matter to me. Yes or no, he's just a backup. He was doing, I don't know if he's going to do coaching for high school. Again, Ezekiel Turner, doesn't really matter. Ifeatu Melifonwu, I don't think we should bring him back. He has not been healthy this year. He's not been healthy throughout his career. He had a great last year at the end. But health is the most important thing, in my opinion, and he can't stay healthy. Dan Skipper, 110%. Bring Skip back. He's a favorite. We love it. Tim Patrick, 100%. Bring him back. Great wide receiver for the Lions. Bring Tim Patrick back. Al-Quadin Muhammed, I think he is a guy that could be on the practice squad or a late 53. A 1-year deal sign, I have no problem there. Ben Nieman, same with him. He's he's a backup role. Craig Reynolds, do we really need to bring him back? We can, but you got Jamar Jefferson, who is done good. We have Sione Vaki, so bring him back, I guess, to prove it deal, to make the roster for the 53 for training camp. Yeah, I have no problem with that. Derrick Barnes, this is an interesting one. Derrick Barnes, Should the Lions bring Derrick Barnes back? Injured. I say a 1-year prove-it deal. I thought he would get signed, he would have a great year this year and get signed, but he got injured. So bring him back to a 1-year prove-it deal. You could have Alex Anzalone, Derrick Barnes, and Jack Campbell back at linebacker. That would be much better. And Anthony Pittman is simply a depth player. He's always been a depth player for me. So, look, I look at all these lists, and the Lions got some decisions to make, but I don't think it's going to be too hard. Let's get to 300 likes, folks. Again, Chat Sports challenged me. Let's break the challenge right now. Now, let's get interesting. I want to talk about another coaching rumor, and this came from the Players lineman. And this is talking about keeping Hank. Says, you refuse to let Hank go. Ragnow says, I haven't played in this league without Hank, and I don't want to be doing it. I'll sabotage him. All leak stories, whatever it takes. Yeah, it's the same for me, Sewell said. Minutes later, he's not going nowhere. At the end of the day, he's not going nowhere. Both Sewell and Ragnow have deep connection to Fraley, and they'll go beyond the typical coordinator-player relationship for Sewell. Their history dates well before the NFL draft in 2021. He's just been there, those pillars for me in this organization. Sewell said, the first I came in love with him. We've gotten history, too. He's been recruiting me in high school when he was at UCLA. A lot of history between us, and our relationship has grown. He's like Coach Dan Campbell in terms of figure in my eyes. He's not going nowhere. They want Hank to stay. And that's what's probably going to happen. I know he interviewed for the Seahawks OC job. I don't see that happening. As a matter of fact, Hank likes to be in Detroit. That's why I was kind of shocked he even took the interview. Maybe he's just trying to get some information on them, but I don't see Hank at all leaving Detroit. I see him staying here. Even if Ben Johnson becomes OC, I still see him staying here. Folks, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell for the latest Detroit Lions news and rumors. We'll have videos every single day in this offseason. With that said, folks, adios.